and Jules show. Hello, Jules.
Hello, Rebecca. How are you today?
I'm just dandy. How are you?
I'm doing quite well.
Well, last week on our info show, we were talking about Kim and Kris Kardashian, but today we're gonna spice it up, literally. And we're going to be talking about Chinese cuisine.
Today, I will be talking mostly about the rice and the history of rice in China.
I've learned a little bit more about what foods are important in China and why. So I was wondering, want to have a cook-off?
Let's do it!
That was a crazy one. I think I'm gonna win this one. But first, let's talk a little bit about our things, and then we'll show what we made.
I will take the pleasure of going first.
Okay.
So, rice was the first grain to be planted in China. Rice started being planted around 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. It was brought around the world by explorers, soldiers, and traders. Rice has many uses. It was made into desserts, alcoholic beverages, and special religious foods. Vegetables would be mixed in with the rice if you could afford it. Meat was also mixed in with the rice on special occasions. During the Zhou dynasty, rice became extremely important and started to influence the Chinese economy.
Oh.
Interesting, right? The Chinese worked on a rice farm all year round, plowing in spring, weeding in summer, harvesting in fall, and hoarding in winter. Rice was almost 3/4 of the people's diets, so it was very important. It wasn't just important for eating, it was also used in ancient architecture. The Chinese had sticky rice, which was very sticky.
Good one.
Thanks, Rebecca. Archaeologists were looking at the ancient structures and they found sticky rice in the mortar, which is kind of like cement, as you say. And then it added strength. Rebecca, what are you doing? You silly girl. Adding the sticky rice makes the structure more water resistant and adds less stress on the building. This strategy was used about 1,600 years ago. That's a long time. Almost as old as you. Rebecca, I'm sorry. Oh. Okay. Well, some of the buildings used with sticky rice even survived at a 7.5 earthquake. Oh, look who's back. Rice is in the poke family. Other plants in the poke family are sandgrass, watergrass, and limestone grass. Rice has a lot of carbohydrates, which are carbs. As you just witnessed, it is cooked by boiling it in water. Rice has an unusual way of growing. It needs a lot of rain, then a lot of sunlight right after each other. Again, it is a year-round process. Even in other places than China, rice is worshipped. Rice is grown all over the world and has world importance.
That sounds very interesting.
It is. Let's hear about it.
Not as interesting as mine.
I bet it is.
So, as I said, lately I've been researching a lot about what foods are important in China and why. The main foods that are extremely important in China are fish, meat and poultry, rice, noodles, tofu, and soup. Fish is eaten all over China, especially along the coast. Fish is an essential diet at a fancy occasion. The pronunciation of pronunciation in China of the word fish is yu, which sounds like wealthiness, and it is customary to eat the whole fish and serve your guest the head of the fish. Meat and poultry is very important in China. They eat pretty much meat and poultry in every single meal. As Jules said, rice is also very important. But so I don't need to talk about that, other than to say that rice is eaten with almost every meal unless it is an extremely formal occasion. Noodles are also very big in China. It can be traced back to the East Han Dynasty from 25 to 220 AD. Depending on people's taste, they can add whatever spices and toppings they prefer. The width of the noodles can vary between the size of a toothpick to the width of a chopstick. They are usually served long and uncut because noodles in China represent a long life. And if you don't cut them, then it means that you're eating something that is long living in them. But if you cut them, then it means that you're eating something short life. So they like to eat as long as possible. Tofu, or literally translated as bean curd, is a food of Chinese origin. It is made from soy milk, water, and curdling agent. The production of tofu from soy milk is similar to that made like cheese from milk. Tofu contains little fat and is high in protein, calcium, and iron. It is a staple of Asian cuisines since ancient China. It has recently become a popular material used in Western vegetarian dishes. The history of soup. The history of soup might be as old as the history of cooking. Chinese soup has been an important part of Chinese food culture in a long time. It is considered to be one of the most nutritious and digestible food types. Since in China, soups are eaten as one of the main dishes in a meal, particularly attention to attach to the soup stocks. In a meal, they typically eat the soup either before or after the dinner to wash down all the drinks, all the solids, because you don't get a drink in a meal. And also soups are substituted as like a Chinese medicine. They're very comparable to traditional Chinese medicine, and there are varieties of such like tonic soups ranging from a very strong taste to a very light taste and a savory taste to a sweet taste. So those are the really important foods in China, and we hope that you enjoyed. Ta-da-da-da! The